Well, hello there, and thank you for joining me for another broadcast of God's podcast. I'm your host. God is gracious. And again, thank you so much for joining. My subject today is Stop Judging by Mere Appearance. This comes from John 7:24, which reads, Stop judging by mere appearance, but instead judge correctly. The upright and pious Jews would not look below the surface to understand what was really going on inside and around Jesus. The Lord does not consider the things that men consider. The Lord looks at the heart, not the outward appearance as people do. They misunderstood the relationship between performing God's work of circumcision on the Sabbath and curing a complete body or a full person on the Sabbath. And Jesus reprimanded them for it. Just a moment. Sorry about that. They cherished the letter of the law, but did not comprehend the spirit of the law. Men enjoy concentrating on outward appearances because it allowed them to feel righteous without allowing God access to their souls, where, of course, sin lives, and, of course, it would be difficult and unpleasant to deal with. Their way of life was threatened by Jesus' actions and teachings. More than they loved God, they loved their way of life and their perspective on the world. They found it far too easy to discredit Jesus in order to discredit his teachings. So let's take a quick look at the three key parts of John 7:24, beginning with number one, stop judging. Christians have argued over what constitutes judging for centuries. It's true that we shouldn't pass judgment on others for fear we too could be judged. That's Matthew 7:1. Making oneself an idol and hating other people for what we are criticizing in them is a way to play the role of God through this form of judgment. Stop judging, and then secondly, by mere appearances. One kind of judgmentalism is judging someone solely on looks. Making judgments about the whole based solely on appearance is a sin, especially in the case of the Jews who rejected Christ and were being dishonest in their assessments. They lied to themselves by putting too much emphasis on the outside world and the word of the law as they had understood it, since they did not truly understand what it would cost them if Jesus was the Messiah. Stop judging by mere appearance, and lastly, number three, but judge correctly. The way Jesus uses the word here demonstrates that not all judgments are unjust. Other people use the term discern to distinguish between what we should do. Wisely and honestly analyze without demonizing or performing God's condemnation, and the other sort, which we are cautious to avoid. To place your confidence in him, you must exercise some sort of judgment. He is a parent. You decide for yourself if you believe he is who he claims to be, and you respond appropriately when Jesus encourages people to judge rightly. He is hoping for this. So again, John 7:24, which reads, Stop judging by mere appearances, but instead judge correctly. And again, what he's saying here when he says instead judge correctly, we're talking about having, as for a Christian, spiritual discernment. We listen, we observe, we analyze, but we do not judge. That is left up to our Father to do. So again, you have listened to another brief broadcast of God's podcast. And I am very grateful to you for that. Until next time, though, you and your family be blessed, and please like and subscribe and follow me on my YouTube channel and at www.godspodcast.com. www.godspodcast.com. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye now.